Yes.
1000% yes.
I have.
Definitely yes. It's like how much more can happen before he decides to come and rescue us.
I think for me personally, when I'm in difficult times, or when there's things that I can't explain in my life or why things are happening, those are very challenging times. And so for me, a very natural question is, number one, why, and what are you waiting for? Can we just get on with this? I'm ready to move on, especially when I'm trying to take control and I'm not allowing him to have control of my life. That's when I would ask that question.
I'd have to say if there's someone in my life who has passed or has gone away, and it's like I'm waiting for him to like come and just make everything happy, like make all sadness go away and stuff.
Something that really bothers me is the fact that, I guess being a mom myself, I think about how can so many moms turn their backs on their children? It just doesn't make sense to me. We need the Lord to come.
About 4 years ago when I was in the hospital and going through all my leg surgery and everything, I was just asking, like, why does it have to be me? Like, why? Why am I here? Like everybody who helps me through my hard times and my struggles.
I feel like I can see him on earth through other people and through their actions, whether it's through their kindness or just a compliment, like I can see it. So.
I think the whole year of 2020 and the pandemic has really opened my eyes to, we know there's evil and darkness in the world, and that's easy for us to spot as a human being. I think that we unfortunately tend to focus on that a lot, but we don't focus on the positives. But I think 2020 has been a year that really forced us to try to seek hope more than normal, because as a global population, we've experienced so much difficulty. And so with that, people have sought and looked for the goodness and the positivity of Christ. And I think God has really answered the call. I think for those that have looked, there's been a lot of positivity and things where we've seen him come down to the earth and act. And we've looked for positive things to happen, and they're there. And he has shown himself in that year.
All the helping hands, all the ones who come when times are bad, which is a lot lately, who come and do the right thing, no matter what the cost.
What are you waiting for? We're taking more than we can handle. This quaking floor has torn our sandals, but this ain't no holy ground. That's only found when you're saving your slavery-torn Israel. Babies born slain and scorned. Pharaoh, the angry Lord, raised the sword plainly toward Israel. But the suffering here is real. It feels at times there's no rhyme or reason. Brokenness, hopelessness got us motionless, comatose in this. Still, I'm so convinced you'll show your wrists in a dying season, out driving demons so they don't exist. But when? I mean, we see sickness and death. We're rich as bereft. Skin pigment can get you killed in this pathetic excuse for a world. And whom do we serve? We've lifted our heads to the giver and begged. Still we're miserable, left in a picture of death. The scriptures have said men and women oppressed are the citizens blessed. You're kidding then, yes? Or am I missing the text like I'm missing the X that marks it? Hardships are the parts of our hearts that mark when we're really depressed and spiritually blessed. Hear what you're saying. I don't see it though. My spirit is poor. I try to make peace and know my heart isn't pure, but where is my kingdom home? I try to show mercy, stay humble and meek. You know I hunger and thirst for your righteousness. Can't eat it though. You feed me crow even though it's not drought season, so we can't just rejoice and be glad. With all this pain, it's not a choice that we have. Bring us joy and come back. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I'm still here. I still fear nil's clear. Give my heart and soul, but it's hard to know if you even will here. What's your will here? I thought death was killed, speared when you rose on your own with the stone up and gone, and you folded your clothes when we spilled tears. But I still see death, there's no secret, it's rampant. Diseases keep spreading, feels like we've been abandoned. What goes up must come down, right? Well, I'm downright tired because your cloud flight skyward looks now like a one-way ticket. Leave a runway to get our bums flamed with the fire. You said that one day you would come save, man, I'm done waiting. When the sun gave his inspired word I heard, no one's ever once made him a liar. hear this liar. Hate to harp on this with the bars I spit, but it's carpe diem and I'm tired of this. COVID SARS virus, malaria, Lyme, SIDS, and hardly can I mention party side tension, starting some riots and apartheid cliques. It's a far cry this from paradise bliss. It's more like it is the dark side in this. I thought you were the Skywalker, you ascended, but it's been a minute. So when is dissension? If this ascension isn't temporary, it's getting pretty scary. Knees are weak, we're very weary. You left cemetery, but left us buried. Said we were married and carried away, and maybe I'm carried away. No, that was you. Man. You spread your arms out and said, I love you this much, and it's tough to get just white. You split cause you poured your heart out, tears and sweat blood, and said you'd be back in a sec. Just check the message like extra, extra. Read all about it. We're calling foul cause grief's all around us. We ask with knees to the ground, just please come surround us. Free us from drowning, throw us a line. Just show up in time, our hopes under fire. We know that you died, but woe does the slide. Keep throwing a ride, hopefully feel like he blows up the mic. So I'm back at it again. I hit this pad with the pen, cause I am mad that the sin is coming back for the win. So let me ask you again, I don't have to pretend. Come back, let it end. What are you waiting for? Want my kingship to come and my will to be done? Well, it is. And my work has only just begun. Do you not remember what happened last time? I came down from the throne just to be chastised. I was cast out. I spoke truth. You lashed out. Now that you have doubt, you must know what's best now. Ha, funny joke. Judas saw a little money sold. People thought I was an ugly old sad story you shouldn't be trusting, no. Like I'm blasphemous, I didn't ask for this, but I can't resist. I'll take lashes, whips, head gashes if my passion gives you mansions with me. I choose to fight and win. I do defy sin. I was stupefied and then they came together and shouted, Crucify him! 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 I did no wrong. Pilate said, hold on. What did this so-called Christ do? They said, so long, so long. Let him be crucified. Yep, I'm that dude that died. Yet I'm the truth and life. Guess who survived? Don't be too surprised. You knew this guy was truly Christ, but these ruthless lies confuse you while your clueless mind's spot into the skies. But guess what? All is forgiven. Death was defeated. The king has risen, and now he's sitting right next to power. You know not the minute, nor the hour, but that day when we're in it, there'll be no more doubters. I said it is finished, but I'll say begin it louder. The night is darkest before the dawn. I know this twilight can seem infinite, but still my sight reaches on, and the world is looking dim. It's up to you to bring the light to them. Stop asking me for a simple fix. Why can't you have a response to this? Life is precious, it's obvious. I know you can't understand my grace, but if the world doesn't hear my name, it's a shame I came in the first place. So while I'm not there, please don't just get mad at me. Make the most of it. Shine your light, stifle Hades' roar. What in the world are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Jesus, and he went out bearing his own cross to a place called the Place of a Skull, which in Aramaic is called Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on either side and Jesus between them. Pilate also wrote an inscription and put it on the cross. It read, "Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews." Many of the Jews read this inscription, for the place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, and it was written in Aramaic, in Latin, and in Greek. So the chief priests of the Jews said to Pilate, "Do not write the King of the Jews, but rather, this man said, 'I am King of the Jews.'" Pilate answered, "What I have written, I have written." After this, Jesus, knowing that all was now finished, said, to fulfill the scripture, "I thirst." A jar full of sour wine stood there, so they put a sponge full of the sour wine on a hyssop branch and held it to his mouth. And when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. So when they had come together, they asked him, "Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" He said to them, "It is not for you to know times or seasons that the Father has fixed by his own authority, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." And when he had said these things, as they were looking on, he was lifted up, and the cloud took him out of their sight. And while they were gazing into heaven as he went, behold, 2 men stood by them in white robes and said, "Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking into heaven? This Jesus who was taken up from you into heaven will come in the same way you saw him go into heaven." What are you waiting for? 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 Everywhere I turn, I see suffering, pain, death, shame, miserable, hurt. It's all over this world, and I find myself looking to the heavens and pleading, "What are you waiting for? Come save us from the bleeding. Liberate us from the hurt that you see that we suffer." But when I look back on your life, I see even worse, 'cause you're the one who had suffering, pain, death, shame, miserable, hurt. You took the sins of the earth, so you haven't waited at all. In fact, you've already liberated, and I must keep it intact. So now I spit fact. I still ask, Lord, come back, but I have a clear path. I won't stand and just bask, looking to the heavens dumbfounded. You will return the same way that you left, on a cloud, and looking to heaven does nothing to proclaim your name and your fame, that you came, you were slain, but you reign, and one day you will take this pain away. So I guess the right question isn't, what are you waiting for? But really, what am I waiting for? What are you 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 waiting for?
One of the ways I really enjoy is Summit Kids. Just loving on those little ones, being able to be there for them. Yeah, sometimes we have bad moments, but being able to be there for them in those bad moments makes me feel like I am doing something to help.
I would say, like, I help in the nursery, and I just like helping here at church and at school with little kids or anybody really.
I don't know that I do a lot. I think the biggest thing that I do, or that I would tell somebody else to do, would be just to serve. Try to live out what you feel that God has called you to do, and do that through deeds. I know we're not saved by deeds, but I believe we're called to serve. And so I feel like the thing that any of us can do to try to lead a Christ-like life and exemplify Him is service in any way that we're called. Nothing's too good for us to do in terms of service. Nothing's too big for us to do in terms of service. So when we're called, we need to be listening. We need to be hearing and asking Him for that open heart to know when that call is being made, and then we need to answer it.
I just try to be the best me I can be. I try to be kind to others. If someone's feeling down, I'm gonna be that person and try to help them feel better. And I feel like that's a way that I can see God's kingdom.